There are two types of car guys. Those who grew up with their dad, grandpa, or uncle wrenching on a project car, and those who didn't. I was one of those who didn't. No one in my family knew how to turn a wrench or had a passion for anything automotive. To them, a car should get you from point A to point B, and that's it. I bet that a lot of car enthusiasts can relate to that. Most of us didn't have a clue what we were doing when we first got into cars. The first car I bought with my own money was a $4,000 turbo Miata. I showed up for the test drive thinking Miatas were front-wheel drive and later found myself driving home in a rear-wheel drive hairdresser convertible. I wasn't really sure what I got myself into with this 250 horsepower Miata, but it had a lot of quirks and really tested my mechanical patience. I didn't have friends or family that knew any more than I did, so I went online and joined a car forum. Remember, this was before Facebook was really even a thing. I enjoyed reading threads and creating discussions about problems I was facing and modifications I wanted to do. I learned a lot about cars in the 4 years I owned it, and if it weren't for online forums and YouTube videos, I would have never been able to keep the car running. Free online resources basically taught me how to diagnose electrical issues, figure out how a turbo system worked, and even helped me replace the engine after blowing a hole in the side of it. Then one day, my friend threw me the keys to his BMW E30 and told me to drive it like I stole it. And that's all it took. I knew I had to have a BMW after that. I traded my winter beater, a rotted out Jeep Cherokee, for an equally as rusted 328 IS E36 that I found on Craigslist. It wasn't pretty, but there was just something about this car that I absolutely fell in love with. I loved the raw feel of the inline six. It was just an amazing car to have fun in. And that's when I started setting my sights on a newer BMW. My name is Jake, and I drive a 750 horsepower BMW 135i. I spent countless nights online researching these cars. This was back in 2013, so the 135 and 335 BMWs were still very new. Everyone talked about how powerful the twin-turbo N54 engine was, but it wasn't known to be the most reliable vehicle. However, I was just 21 and wanted to go fast. I got bit by the power bug right away after realizing how easy it was to get 450 horsepower out of it with just a tune and a few bolt-ons. I started taking the car to the drag strip, the half-mile runway events, and even tracked it at Road America. At this point, I had fallen head over heels for the BMW brand. I loved the way they were built, the timelessness to them, and just the general concept of a driver-focused, rear-wheel drive sports car. And as I continued to modify my 135, I realized the guys on the forums were still under warranty or even leasing their BMWs. There wasn't a ton of DIY information online, so I started documenting my build on the forums, I started a blog, and I even started a YouTube channel. I posted detailed write-ups and uploaded videos because I wanted to share my experience with the BMW community. Eventually, N54 BMW problems caught up to me and my stock turbos were rattling away, so I decided to replace them with an upgraded twin turbo kit. The feeling of accomplishment I had after completing that job was indescribable. This is one of the more involved installations that I'd ever done, and I documented the whole thing. I shared the same information that I used to rely on when I first started turning wrenches. If my content helped someone make a decision on which parts to buy or showed them how to install it, that made me happy. It became my way of giving back to the car community. I wanted to help others who might not have a friend or family member who could walk them through the process. Eventually, I made the decision to completely transform the car and add even more power. I ditched the twin turbos for a larger single turbo and wanted to go full race car. Some friends and I spent the winter of 2017 completely overhauling the car, and again, we documented everything. I wanted to show the community how capable these cars are and share a blueprint for others to follow on their own build journey. As the build progressed, so did I. I started to take my content seriously and found ways to monetize it, partner with companies, and leverage my relationships. I'd say it's even what opened the door for me to join the Fitment Industries team. This car has helped me grow in so many ways. It's made me a better driver, a better mechanic, a better friend, and a better human being. It helped me come out of my shell, introduced me to some of my best friends, and allowed me to travel across the country. I've become obsessed with BMWs. I've owned 14 of them in the last 8 years. I recently bought a 2015 M3 that I'm falling more and more in love with every single day. The biggest thing I've learned in life is that anything is possible if you want it bad enough. You can make a living off literally anything these days, but you have to work for it. Find something you're passionate about and just go after it. Embrace it. Just don't buy a BMW as a financial investment.